Isolation pro tip. I get this question almost more than how do I get puss, which is a lot, okay? So this is top two, and it's like, it's a distant second to how do I get puss, but it's still number two. A lot of people are always saying when I say that you should be, because as somebody pointed out in the comments, it was one of the funniest comments I've ever read. Friendly Jordies explains why you should be reading part 76. Yeah, guilty as charged. But do you do it? Do you fucking do it? Didn't think so. So, everybody is always asking when I say this that you should be reading in the areas that you are like in the path in life that you want to follow, and then people go, but what path? Which the first thing that I can say is, you suck, dude. And I think you know it, don't you? You fucking love it. All right, so I think that when people say, I don't know what path to follow, they're just procrastinating. They know. Deep down, you know what you're good at and what you're bad at. It pretty much just boils down to the subjects that you took in class, right? At school, right? Okay, there's going to be the occasional Indian family person there that was just like, they would have been like, you're doing maths and you're doing science. But the average human being in Australia is just free to do what they want at the HSC. If you went to the HSC. But if you didn't go through the HSC, I doubt that you're watching this at the moment. And if you didn't watch it at the HSC and you're watching this at the moment, you're probably one of those guys that's like driving around in a Bentley at 200 kilometers an hour, and then when they pull them over and say, you're going to jail, you just put 50 grand in the cop's pocket, you didn't see nothing, and moves on with their life, right? So you don't need this help anyway. You're clearly on your path in life, destruction. So, the other people though, when you are saying, what path do I need to be on, or like, what do I know? Like, dude, it really comes down to this. It is as basic as this. What are you interested in? And I think that you should be following that. All throughout your day, you are getting instinctual little cues saying, you should be doing this now, you should be doing that now. Do you ever act on them? No. Well, sometimes you do, but like most of the time, you just do what you are habitually trained to do. Because people, we said in the previous video, are basically just horses going, The elephant on the chain thing, right? You've heard that before. In India, because it's POV, they usually only have one chain, but they have many elephants that they need to train. So they put the chain around the elephant, and then the elephant just goes and tries to get out, can't get out of it. After a while, they replace the chain with a rope, but the elephant has been conditioned to think that it's a chain. It can easily move the rope out, but as soon as it feels that little tug, it just goes. Now, that's a really sad way of putting it, but that is how your brain is working, right? Also, what is happening is that there is an inner child deep down inside you that is going, you should be doing this, you should be doing... I'll give better examples than you should be doing this, you should be doing that. I don't know. We'll go with the classics. You should be an artist. You should just do some drawing right now. And these people that say that, and this is the same thing that happens even if you are on that next step, right? Where you know that you want to be an artist. So there's some people, this is actually my girlfriend maybe a few years ago, right? I remember having this conversation with her where she basically admitted to me, almost subconsciously, that she hated working in the corporate world. I mean, who doesn't? Psychopaths. Anyway, everybody else doesn't like to do it. And then she started admitting to me that she wanted to be an actor. But she didn't want to admit it to herself. That's what I'm talking about there, because you know what she used to say before that? I don't know what I want to do in life. But after that conversation, it suddenly hit me. She knew the whole time what she wanted to do. She was just scared to do it. So I think that people use this as just a little procrastination method in their mind a lot of the time. They just say that they don't know what they want to do. And if you write down your interests, just write down your top 10 interests. I've told you to do this before. Do it this time. Write down what you are interested in. You've got nothing else to do. You're just in fucking isolation anyway. Unless you are just going around, like, I don't know, just going throughout your normal day, just being like, no virus could stop. But everybody else, just write down your interests. You will see a recurring theme in those. You will see that there is a recurring theme there. And I also will wager this, that of your interests, the reason that you're good at that you have those interests is because you're naturally talented at them. I said this before. I think that I am quite a good communicator in that I can get people to focus on more important things. I think that I have that natural innate ability, but I had to work on it, right? It was just one of my interests. I never felt at home in a social situation, right? Just in a normal, like, just going to parties and stuff. It just bored me. But I did like everybody's attention being on me. I loved that. It was strange. I felt at home being in front of 1,000 people. I felt more at home there. The biggest fear in most people's minds, for some reason, whatever it is, that was where I was just naturally, like Ian Thorpe in the pool. That's where I felt at home. That's where you need to find out. Where do you feel at home? Right? There's something that you do that you just naturally do, and that is what people will say is their interests. But really, it's your talent. And that's what you should be pursuing in life, and I really think this, the world would be a better place if everybody just pursued their talents. I'm an advocate fan of that idea, because I think that when you pursue your talents, what usually happens? You're forced to make a business. As a result of forcing to make a business, what happens after that? You get employees. And those employees are usually passionate about the project that you're doing as well. And so you've just made a bunch of people's lives better by you following your talent. So don't just sit there and say that, I don't know what I should be doing in life. You know. You definitely have some vague idea of what you're good at and what you're interested in. I want you to write that down. Then I want you to write an action plan of how you're going to get there. And look, the path after that kind of starts to just, it's, I don't know, like one of those computer games. I can't even remember which ones they are, but you know those ones where it's just basically dark in front of you all the time and then there's just one step in front. I'm describing horror games here on. That's what life's like. But where you're just walking in front of the path and just the next cobblestone appears in front of you, but the rest of the screen is dark. That is sort of what starts to happen when you are following your passion in life. When you are following what you are talented at. That is really your passion. When you are following what you're talented at, it starts revealing itself one cobblestone after another. And I personally think that that's just God giving you another test. As you know, I do actually think that. But I do think that it is just another test from the universe saying, okay, you did that jump, now you know that you should be doing this jump, but it's up to you to do the jump. Instead of just sitting there and getting distracted or just telling yourself that point, because really, it has to be just a distraction. I don't know what I'm doing. You know that you should be taking that next step. You know that there's another step that you should be taking right now, and you're just using this thing of just, because everybody does it. Everybody overthinks things that are very, very, very simple. Say that you want to be an artist, and people always just go, I don't know how to start. Well, here's how you start. You get a fucking piece of paper and you start drawing. It's as simple as that. So, I want you, after you write all those interests, if you genuinely don't know what you are talented at, just write down on a list the things that you're interested in. See the recurring pattern in it. Then, obviously, because as Deepak Chopra always says, when you combine your talent with giving to the universe, that is when your life truly becomes magical. And I agree with him. I agree. It was a tough slog for many years, but now, dude, every day of my life is just one big highlight. I don't think I have bad days. And when I was following on that path, right, even the really darkest moments, even in those darkest moments, I felt at home. I felt kind of guided. After a while, you just know you should be taking that next step. And after a while, kind of like at Mario 64, the step gets a little bit higher, right? And you just go like, boo, 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 whoop. That's what happens. It might take a few times for you to get over that next hurdle, but you do get there. That's what I want you to write next. What is the next step? That's part 2 of your homework. If you know what you should be doing, I want you to write down now, what is the next step? All right, give me more questions, press the like button. Peace be with you.